Good morning, ARMR Insiders. Welcome to the morning meeting of the virtual hedge fund we call ARMR Investing. We're going to go over the market. If we can stay awake, we're going to talk about the highlighted group. It has to be cannabis. And then thanks to ARES, we're going to talk about what are the strongest sectors when the Fed starts cutting rates. And so what should be at the top of our whiteboard for inclusion into things like the ARMR Invest portfolio or the ARMR Special Situation. So we'll break it down that way. Thanks for joining me this morning. As always, figure out your risk tolerance, goal, strategy. Take whatever I'm saying, whatever you hear elsewhere, find a quiet place, execute your strategy, and be the smart money. What has to be the highlighted group of the day? Okay. It's got to be MSOS. And the story is not a surprising one, right? The DEA, there's a process to reschedule, and they're just going to cross every T, dot every I. And so they've called for a public hearing in December, on December 2nd. Now, there were some cannabis pundits out there saying they're not going to do that. They're going to do it before November and the election and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, they're not. They're going to do every step that they have to do, which I think long-term is bullish for the investment thesis. Because if they do every step that they need to do to reschedule, it'll be harder to unwind it, right? Certainly from a legal point of view. It'll be harder for some incoming administration to say, you didn't do this and this, and so we're going to do X, right? So everything is the T's, the I's, and that's what they're doing. We don't own MSOS. We don't own any of the U.S. cannabis stocks. We haven't made that an investment in our portfolio. We haven't had any investment in ARMR portfolios that we manage in MSOS for weeks now. And here's the simple reason. Instead of trying to guess what the DEA does, we just look at the chart pattern, right? So we highlighted this green box. We said if it can break out above the 200-day moving average and the 50-day, we might get long MSOS. It didn't break out. It failed, right? A couple of tails, broke down, tried to rally, hasn't gone anywhere. We've just been sitting around waiting. You don't have to guess. This goes back to a conversation I had with you yesterday. Stop making investments because you think something's going to happen. Make investments using algorithms with stops on companies and assets that are on your whiteboard. Do your research. You like an idea. I like cannabis. It's on the whiteboard. I don't buy it because I like it. I only buy it if I get a risk on entry point using an ARMR algo. And then I use stops, typically the low of the day that I'm buying. Either I make money on that entry point or I don't hold it. Fitz made a comment in here. I thought it was funny, Fitz. You said, cannabis doesn't kill people. Cannabis investing does. And I feel bad for those people that get killed in cannabis investing. They're not on this trading desk. February 15th, I threw down the gauntlet. And I said to you guys, the single best way to play cannabis stocks, okay? The single best way to play cannabis stock, I said to you then, single best way is going to be IIPR. I threw down the gauntlet. February 15th, go back and look at it. We got YouTube videos up. You all know it because you've been investing with me on the way. Stock was trading at 90. I got a lot of flack for this. I said, this is the single best way to play cannabis in 2024. Innovative property, $90. Hit a high over 127 yesterday. It's up over 40%. Principal, up over 40%. And we've collected 2 dividends. That sound you just heard, boom, that was the mic dropping. Meanwhile, MSOS straight down. I'm going to keep collecting that dividend and I'm going to keep making money in IIPR. And the single best way for institutions to put money into weed stocks is through this company trades on the New York Stock Exchange. Not all the little stocks trading on the Canadian exchange. So if you want exposure to cannabis, that's how you do it. You're up over 40%. You're picking up a dividend yield and you don't care when the DEA makes their decision. Cannabis stocks don't kill ARMR Insider. We just collect our dividends and we wait. At some point, there'll be a reschedule or a deschedule. MSOS, whatever starts to go higher, we'll be on it. We'll get an algo entry point. We'll either trade it or it'll turn into an investment. And I'll be the first one to share it with you. Join me on the desk. I'll let you know when we start doing that. Okay. We'll be doing research today on the desk. We'll be looking for, building our whiteboard of where we want to go with capital. So we'll do that together. And if we get any carry trades, we'll be on those together. So I look forward to ARMR Insiders joining me at 9:30. ARMR Report subscribers, you're on your own, but feel free to put a comment into this video. I'll answer it. And anyone else who's watching the video and thinks to themselves, gee, my day job gets in the way of executing, I'm happy to work with you on a different level if it makes sense. Pick up the phone, call me, and we can talk. All right, everyone have a wonderful trading session. At the end of the day, let me hear you. Be the smart money.